This conference will now be recorded.
So in today's session, we are going to discuss about security features, and we will see what exactly the security features and why should we go for security features even though Salesforce itself is a secured product. Even though Salesforce itself is a secured product, why should we go for security features in Salesforce? And how Salesforce is maintaining the security of records for the various users, for the different organizations from the different regions, and how it is differentiating the records from user to user within the organization and organization to organization, okay, within the region or the server. Okay, we'll see today practically. And as part of security, what are the various features are available? Okay, we'll see one by one. So as part of the security here, I'm targeting for some major features here. Let me list out those features first, and then we'll start one by one. So initially, we'll go with that security features overview. There we are going to discuss how Salesforce is providing the security for each and every feature, each and every application, each and every object, each and every field, each and every record which you have configured. And then we'll see the concept of licenses. So we have to understand what exactly a license and what it indicates. What are the various types of licenses available in Salesforce and what are the differences between those licenses? Okay, we'll see. And how many licenses that Salesforce has given in free developer edition as free of cost? How to check? We'll see practically. And then once the licenses are available, then how can we configure the profiles? So what exactly a profile and what it indicates? What are the various types of profiles that we have in Salesforce and what are the differences between those types and how can we create our own custom profiles, how to assign those profiles to the users, okay, we'll see. So once the licenses and the profiles are ready, then how to create the users. Because in order to add a user, we need two things mandatorily, a license and a profile. Without any one of this, we can't add the users. Both are mandatory. So, so once the license and the profiles are ready, then how can we configure the users? And then we are going to discuss about this, okay, user management. As part of this user management, we are going to discuss how can we configure the users, how to modify the user details. If the user forget about his password, how can we reset as an administrator? And how can we deactivate the user and how to reactivate and how to freeze, how to unfreeze. Okay, we'll see. And how can we log in into a user account without knowing his credentials? And how can we solve the troubleshooting issues also? We'll see. And then we are going to discuss about the role hierarchy. So we have to understand what exactly a role, what it indicates, how to set up the role hierarchy in Salesforce, and how to assign the roles to the users. Okay, we'll see. And what are the benefits of assigning role hierarchy? We'll see this as part of this part. And then we are going to entering into one of the major feature that is OWD. So what exactly the OWD and what it indicates? What are the various OWD options that we have in Salesforce and how to assign OWT to each and every object and what kind of functionalities that each and every OWT option supports. We'll see. And then we'll be discussing about a feature called as the sharing settings or the sharing mechanisms and what exactly the sharing, how to share the records to the people and what are the various ways to share, how to share to a single user, how to share to the group of users by configuring public groups. There we'll see what exactly the public group, how to configure the public groups in Salesforce, and how to share the record to the groups. And then how can we make the processes automated with the help of sharing rules and the types of sharing rules also we'll see. And then we'll be entering into the concept called as granting the access on the complete record to the required people. That means we are transferring the record ownership to the required users. Then how can we transfer the record ownership to the required people? We'll see. And upon transferring the records to the users, how can we transfer by using manual, by using automation? Upon transferring the record ownership, how to transfer the record ownership to a queue? There we are going to entering into the queues concept, what exactly a queue, what it indicates, how to create the queues in Salesforce in our organization, how to place the records inside the queue, how the members can be accessible, the records, everything we'll see. That's part of this queues concept. And upon transferring the records to the queues, we are having a feature called as assignment rules. What exactly an assignment rule? How can we configure the various types of assignment rules? We'll see. And then we are entering into a feature Web2 lead. This is also called as online leads and the Web2 case and the email to case and lead auto response rules, case auto response rules, and then case escalation rules and the profiles and the permission sets, grant access using hierarchies, and how to configure the login IP ranges and the login hours and the business hours, how to configure the holidays in Salesforce, where during the holidays timings your Salesforce application won't allow you to log in. How can we restrict the people to log in into the Salesforce application during on holidays? We'll see. And how can we configure the remote site settings? We'll see all these features as part of security. So these are the 23 features which I'm targeting as part of this security concept over here. Okay. Each and every point I will cover in detail with the practical. These are not theoretical, these are purely practical concepts. Okay. All are interlinked topics. Now, let's see. First, we'll see why should we go for security features in Salesforce. Okay, now. So you can raise a question, sir, Salesforce itself is a secured product. Salesforce CRM is purely a secured product. Whatever the resources they are offering, it may be a platform, it may be infrastructure, these are all are completely secured products. The hacker people, unauthorized people can't enter into my organization. The other users can't access my applications, they can't access my data from my objects. How? How Salesforce is restricting the people? How Salesforce is providing the security for my records which I have created inside my organization in my objects? Now, let's see. Let me explain the background architecture of Salesforce, how it is providing the security for each and every record from organization to organization and user to user within the organization. Okay, now, for example, in our starting sessions, we have discussed about a concept called as server instances. We have discussed about a concept called as server instances. So what exactly we have discussed during the server instances? During this concept, I have discussed about the various regions in which Salesforce is operating their business and what are the various servers that Salesforce is maintaining in each and every region. In order to provide the Salesforce services to the customers, what are the various servers that Salesforce is maintaining in each and every region we have discussed during that time. Now, let me recap that part over here, not complete, okay, whatever the part is required, I will explain that. For example, Salesforce is having their own server. Assume that we have Asia Pacific region. For example, we have Asia Pacific region. In this Asia Pacific region, they are having so many servers from AP0 to AP28. Totally 29 servers are available in Asia Pacific region, which is maintaining by Salesforce. So in these servers, for example, we have a server that is AP16. Okay, AP16. Assume that there is a server AP16. Now this server is having some huge memory spaces available, some terabytes of memory spaces available and free. It's a free space completely here. This is a new server started by Salesforce, for example. Today, a customer showed interest to utilize Salesforce services. Today, a customer showed interest to utilize Salesforce services. Now tell me what Salesforce people will do. Salesforce will allocate this complete AP16 server to the customer? No. Salesforce is not providing dedicated services to the customers. Okay, Salesforce is not providing dedicated services. Dedicated services means what? A separate resource. Okay, a separate resource. For the customer one, separate server. Customer two, separate server. Customer three, separate server. They're not allocating like that because the current situation is the same. Current situation is the same here. Like for example, assume that we are having ICICI Bank. How many branches are available for ICICI Bank, especially in Hyderabad? They might be having almost 50 to 60 branches are available. Okay, they're having 50 to 60 branches only in Hyderabad here. Okay, now for ICICI Bank, they might be having almost 50 to 60 branches, okay, only in Hyderabad. In each and every branch, they will be having branch level server. In SR Nagar branch, they have a separate server. Aminpet branch, they have a separate server. In Kukatpalli branch, separate server. Madhapur branch, separate server. Begumpet branch, separate server. Secunderabad branch, separate server. That means in each and every branch, they're having a separate server is available. Okay, now every day customers are visiting the branches that performing the transaction. This data will be storing where inside the branch level server? No, this data will be storing inside the centralized server over here. Salesforce is having, that means ICICI Bank is having their own centralized server. It may be Mumbai or Delhi somewhere. Inside that centralized server, the whole data will be getting resides. But in every branch level, we are maintaining a separate server over here. Because suppose tomorrow, if the online is not working, if the internet is not available, online is not working, at least the customer can visit our branch, they can able to perform that transaction. That means only that local branch people, that means the branch level customers, the home branch people can visit the branch and they can able to do the transaction. But the other branch people, they can't come to this Secunderabad branch over here. Only the Secunderabad branch customers can able to perform their own transaction by visiting home branch. Okay, because they're maintaining a separate server over here. In that server, they're storing only the branch related customers data over here. Now, in this case here, now tell me, every year ICICI Bank is upgrading the servers, right? Yes. How many servers are available? Only in Hyderabad, 50 to 60 servers. Now, if you want to upgrade the hardware of the 60 servers only for Hyderabad, it's a huge investment, right? Yes. Like that here, we are having so many major cities are available where they're having some hundreds of branches also. So at that time, worldwide, they're having some lakhs of branches. So at that time, upgrading the servers in all these lakhs of branches will be huge investment. This is a major problem. So now that's what here, Salesforce is not providing a dedicated server to each and every customer. They are providing shared infrastructure. They are providing shared infrastructure. Now, so in this case, they have their own server that is AP16. In this server, they're having some huge memory spaces available. Whenever a customer showed interest, then Salesforce is going to be allocating some amount of memory space for that customer inside the server. For example, today a customer showed interest. So for the customer one, Salesforce is allocating some amount of memory space. This is for the customer one. Now tell me, the allocation of this memory space is called as what? Creating a Salesforce.com organization, or this is also called as a Salesforce account. Okay. So the allocation of this memory space is called as what? Creating a Salesforce.com organization, or this is a Salesforce org. This is the organization one. Now tell me how to recognize each and every organization. How to recognize each and every organization uniquely. Hmm. By using what? Organization ID, right. For every organization, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number called as organization ID, which is an 18 characters alphanumerical number, which always starts with 00D. Okay, it is having some organization ID over here. Now, this organization has been allocated to the customer one. So, the customer one's applications, data, documents, records, files, everything will be residing inside this organization one inside this memory space over here. Clear? Now, like the similar way today, one more customer showed interest. For the customer two, Salesforce is allocating the memory space for this particular customer here. For the customer two, they are going to be reserving some amount of memory space. For the customer two, they are going to be allocating organization two here. Organization two. For this organization, it is having the organization ID. Organization ID. This is also starting with a 00D. Now, so now from now onwards, second customers are data, documents, applications, records, files, everything will be residing inside this, okay, same server over here inside this organization. Next, one more customer showed interest. For the customer three, they're reserving some amount of memory space. For the customer four, some amount of memory space. Like that, for how many customers are allocating the memory space within a single server? How many? 8,000, right. So within a single
8,000.
server, they're allocating the memory space for 8,000 organizations. So 8,000 organizations are available within a single server. 8,000 customers are using the same server. 8,000 customers applications are running in the same server. 8,000 customers applications, documents, files, records, everything is available inside the single server. Now, in this case here, within a single server, 8,000 customers applications are available, documents, files, records are available. Now tell me how Salesforce is maintaining the security. How Salesforce maintains the security of each and every organization. How Salesforce maintains the security here. For example, assume that myself customer one. Now, whenever I'm going to be creating my own Salesforce account, Salesforce is allocating this memory space to me. This is my Salesforce org. In my Salesforce organization, I'm having the CRM application is available by default, right? Yes. I'm able to access Salesforce CRM application because whenever a customer is creating the Salesforce account, automatically Salesforce is providing Salesforce CRM application on free of cost. You will be getting sales application, service application, marketing, content, chatter, community, everything. You can able to access all these features over there. Like the similar way, customer two will be having the access of Salesforce CRM application. Customer three can access CRM application. Customer four can access CRM application. All the customers can access CRM applications as it is. Now, through the CRM application, what kind of data that we can store? We can store sales data, service data, marketing data, customers data, everything we can able to store. Now, today as a customer one, I'm creating one account record inside my account object. I'm creating an account record. Account one. Now the organization two people will create an account record here. account 11, where these records will get stored. Where these records will get stored. Account records are storing in the account object. I know that here. Now, where all these organizations account records will get resides? Will Salesforce maintains a separate account object for every organization, or will Salesforce maintains only one account object for all the organizations across all the region servers? Separate. For example, if Salesforce is maintaining a separate, okay, account object for every organization, how many organizations are available? So many organizations are available. Then we have to create those many number of account objects. Then at that time, number of objects will be keep on increasing right in the database. If the number of objects are keep on increasing, automatically it is going to be increasing the complexity also. It is decreasing the application performance. Then what we can do? In this case, Salesforce is not providing a separate set of account objects here. Salesforce is not maintaining a separate set of objects for each and every organization. Salesforce maintains only one set of objects, only one account object, one contact object, one opportunity object, one lead object, one case object, one solution, one order, one contract, one product, one price book, like that. Only one set of objects are available. This same set of objects are accessing by all the organizations from all the region servers. You may be from any region also. You may be from North America region also, Europe region also, Asia Pacific region also. You may be from any server also. You may be from any organization also. If you are creating a record inside my account object, the record will be coming to the same table over here. All the organization's account records will store inside the same account object here. Now, my records are also there in the same table. His records are also there in the same table. His records are also same table. Her records are also in the same table. Then how Salesforce is providing the security here? If all the customers' records are available within a single object, how Salesforce is maintaining the security? How Salesforce will recognize this record is belongs to so and so organization. This record is belongs to so and so organization. How Salesforce maintains the differentiation of the records. Now let's see how Salesforce is maintaining the security of my records from organization to organization. Now let me explain over here. Now let's see. I'm having my Salesforce server, assume that. So this is the Salesforce server that we have, AP24. Now, as part of this AP24, we are having few customers are available. This is organization 1, this is allocated for the customer 1. Organization 2, allocated to customer 2. Organization 3, allocated to the customer 3 here. For each organization, Salesforce is allocating a unique identification number that is called as organization ID, which is an alphanumerical number, which is a 18 characters number, which will be always starting with a 00D. Now, right. So now, whenever we are going to be creating a Salesforce account here, now this customer 1 is nothing but some TCS. This account is belongs to TCS company. This account is belongs to ICICI Bank. This account is belongs to IBM organization here. Now, whenever they're creating a new Salesforce account, Salesforce is providing the Salesforce CRM application by default over here. Salesforce CRM application is available and free of cost by default. So all the people can access Salesforce CRM application as it is. They can access sales, service, marketing, content, charter, everything. Along with they can build their own custom applications also, whatever they want. Now, today, these people are creating some records over here. Today, these people are going to be creating some records over here. They're creating some records over here. Now, from the TCS organization, they're creating 2 records here. This is the first record they're creating over here. They're creating one account record. That already told you Salesforce is not maintaining a separate set of objects for each and every org. Salesforce is maintaining only one set of objects here. Salesforce is maintaining only one set of objects for all the organizations. Okay, organization to organization memory will be separate, but the objects are same. Okay, but the objects are same. Okay, now let's see here in this case. So now here in this case, as part of this customer one is creating some account record. So this is the first account record they have created. The name of the account record is some Pradeep Kumar, rating value, industry, and the annual revenue. Now they have created one more account record also. This is the record, Kishore Kumar, and then rating value, industry, and the annual revenue. Now they have created the record over here. So now the customer 2 has created one account record. This is the record they have created. Name of the record, rating value, industry, annual revenue. Customer 3 has created an account record here, which is having the name and the rating, industry, and the annual revenue. That means what? All the organizations related account records will store in same account object. Now, how Salesforce will differentiate these records? Based on what ID? Record ID. How Salesforce will differentiate that? Do we have any indication that okay, this record ID is belongs to so its organization? No. Now, in this case here, let's see. Generally, how you are going to create the record? Can you give me the navigation for me? Simple navigation. Generally.
Login.
Now click on this accounts tab. Click on new button.
Accounts tab.
Form will be getting opened. Enter the data inside the fields. Click on save button. Now tell me, when I click on save button, what will happen behind the screen? Record will be created. Only that part we know.
Record.
But behind the screen, what is happening here? Now, just we know that when I click on save button, the record is created or not. That's it we know. But background process, what is happening, we don't know that here. Now, let me explain. As soon as once you click on this save button, in order to create a new record, Salesforce will capture so much data. What kind of data it will capture? Now let me explain. First, it will capture your farm data. Farm data. Farm data means what? Whatever the values we have entered inside the text boxes, it will collect that whole data. The data is called as farm data. Inside that new account farm, whatever the values we have entered, that whole data is called as farm data. And then, along with that, it will be collecting requested page URL. Requested page URL. So what do you mean by this requested page URL? Once the data has been collected, we need to send the data to Salesforce server to create a record inside the object. Then how can we recognize that Salesforce server? It will be having a specific URL is available here. It is having a domain name. It is having the URL is available to collect that URL of that Salesforce server to whom you want me to transfer this data. Next, it will collect your session ID here. Session ID. So what do you mean by this session ID? As soon as once you log in into your Salesforce organization by providing your username and the password, when you click on login, Salesforce will be authenticating your user's data. Whatever the credentials you have entered, these are valid or not, it will verify. If the username and the password is valid, then inside the Salesforce server, it is reserving some amount of memory space that is called as session memory. That is called as session memory. Why it is reserving some amount of memory over here? Because once you log in into the application, keep on you are initiating so many requests over here. Keep on you are trying to be performing some operation. In order to do that operation, internally inside the server side, it requires some amount of memory will be required. That's what here, it is reserving some amount of memory that is called as session memory. To recognize that session memory, it is allocating a unique identification number that is called as session ID, that is a unique identification code. From next time onwards, when we click on any button control, when you click on any login link also, automatically, along with your request to the server, it will send the session ID also. That means, boss, don't ask me to provide the credentials again. Already I have logged in into my application. I have validated my credentials. So please accept my request over here because I'm having the token. That means this session ID will be attaching along with the request every time over here. So that here, based on the session ID, it will identify, oh, this person is already an authenticated person. Okay, don't redirect the people to the login screen, accept the request as it is. So from next time onwards, every request will be carrying this session ID also over here. Okay, now. So now here in this case, it is collecting your session ID also. And along with that, it will collect your system's IP address. It will collect your system IP address. Why it is collecting the system IP address? Once the request has been sent to the server, server will take up the request. It will start processing the request. Once the request has been processed, it has to send the response, right? Yes. To whom you want me to send the response? To you or to the other people? I made the request. Request response should be come to me only here. So I should receive the response here. Then in this case, how Salesforce will recognize you in the entire world? Because you are the not only the person is accessing the Salesforce account, so many millions of people are accessing Salesforce account right now. In this entire world, how can we recognize you? So in order to recognize your system, each and every system will be having a unique IP address is available. So it is collecting your system IP address to send the response back to you. Next, it collects your system's header information. Header information. What exactly the header information? Now let me explain. So now inside my form, inside that new account form, I have entered so much data I have entered over here. When I click on the save button, this data should be transferred from my local system to Salesforce server. Where is that Salesforce server? It may be in US or UK or Germany, Japan, somewhere it is available over here. Now, in this case, to transfer my data from a local system to the US Salesforce servers, we require some carriers. Those carriers are called as data packets. Those carriers are called as data packets, which will transfer your data from your local system to Salesforce server to your local system. These are nothing but the transport agencies over here, which will be carrying your data over the network over here. Over the network, it will transmit the data from local system to the Salesforce server and Salesforce server to local system. In this case here, in order to store that data packets, it is using this header information. Next, it will collect your operating system information. That means which operating system that we are using inside my local system over here. Based on the operating system, it is going to be sending the response back. It will collect your browser information here. It will collect your browser information. Which browser that we are using in order to access this application? Because browser to browser, some compatibility issues will be available. Like for example, if I'm accessing my ICICI Bank application in Chrome browser, it will be looking like perfectly, like as images, colors, alignments, everything will be looking like perfectly. Suppose if I'm accessing the same ICICI Bank application by using some Internet Explorer, some elements may be missing. Some colors may not be visible properly here. And then some images may not be loading properly. There are some compatibility issues will be available from browser to browser. Depends upon the version of the browser also. So that it will collect your browser information so that it will send the response back to you, which will be compatible with the current browser which you are using. And along with that, it is collecting your organization ID. Okay, along with your organization ID. Whatever the data that we have entered, along with this data, it will collect your organization ID also over here. Okay, now, once the organization ID has been getting collected, it will collect your user ID also. Which user is raising this request here? It will collect this whole data. This data will be sending to the Salesforce server. Okay, now, but whenever once you click on this save button on any object record also, as soon as once you click on save button, this much of data will be collecting from your local system. It will forward to the Salesforce server. Okay, now this is the background process will be happening over here. Now it will collect your farm data. requested page URL, and your session ID, your system's IP address, your header information, operating system information, your currently using browser information, your organization ID, and your user ID here. So this much of data will be getting collected by Salesforce upon click on save button. But we don't know all this process. When I click on save button, my record is created upon. That's it. Okay. So in the background, this much of process will be happening with Salesforce. Okay. Now, so as soon as once I click on this save button, Salesforce will collect this whole data. The data will be sending to the Salesforce server over here. Now the server is going to be collecting these records over here. As soon as the request has been sent to the server will validate your organization ID. Whatever the organization ID that we have in the request, it will collect your organization ID, it will be validating that. It will validate whether the organization ID is correct or not. Or is maybe it is a invalid organization ID, it will cross check that. If the organization is valid, then it will be checking that in this particular organization, okay, whether this user is active or not, it will check that user IDs also. If the user is active, then it is going to be accepting the record inside this object over here. The record will be created. Upon creating this record over here, along with the recorded data, it is going to storing your organization ID also. It will store your organization ID here. Now, for example, for the first record, the organization ID is 0000D 778833. So it is storing this organization ID also. Now, this is the organization ID is a separate field. It's a hidden field maintaining by Salesforce. This field you can't see. It will not be visible. Even though when you go to the schema builder or object manager developer console, this field will not be visible to you because it is an internal system reference field maintaining by Salesforce to differentiate the records from user to user, organization to organization. Now, so now along with your record data, it will store your organization ID also. Now the first record has been created by the organization 1. Organization 1 ID is 00D 778833. So this record has been created along with the recorded data. It is storing organization ID also. Next, second record has been created by the same organization. Along with this recorded data, it is storing that organization ID that is same. From the organization 1, 2 records are available over here. Okay, now, next, organization 2 has created 1 record over here. Along with the recorded data, it is storing the organization ID also. What is the ID of this organization? 559900. So it is storing this organization ID also along with the recorded data. Now the organization 3 has created 1 record here, which is having the ID as 889900. So along with the recorded data, it will store your organization ID also. Now, as soon as once you click on this object, like for example, when I try to access my Salesforce org now, when I try to access my Salesforce org now, when I click on this account button, see, when I click on this sales, as soon as once I click on this accounts tab, in order to see the account records, as soon as once I click on accounts tab, it will make a request to the Salesforce server. Upon sending the request, my organization ID also will be transferred over here. Upon sending this organization ID, it will check. So with this organization ID, do we have any matching records are available or not? If yes, it will collect only those records over here. Those records will be sending to me so that those records I can see inside my screen over here. Based on the organization ID, it is going to be differentiating the records from organization to organization. Clear? Understood the concept here? Now, in this case, Salesforce is going to be maintaining only 1 object over here, not multiple. Okay, only 1 object here. Now, so in this case here, it is going to be differentiating the records here. Okay, it is differentiating the records based on organization ID. Okay, understood the concept now? Now, see, simple concept here. First of all, you have to understand why security has been came into the picture. Let me give you one small general scenario so that we can understand. For example, I'm staying in a flat. Okay, I'm staying in a flat, which is the 2 BHK flat over here. I'm the only person staying in that flat over here. All the resources inside the flat, I'm using that because I'm paying the rent. The whole rent I'm paying by myself. So I'm the only person staying in that flat. So I'm having some valuable items inside the flat. Okay, I'm having some valuable items like my credit cards, debit cards, mobiles, laptops, some gold chains, rings, all these things. Now in my flat, nobody is entering into that flat. I'm the only person staying. In this case, I can place my items wherever I want in my entire flat. Okay, my credit cards, debit cards, mobiles, laptops, our gold ornaments, everything I can place wherever I want inside the flat because nobody is entering into the flat. I'm the only person staying. So there is no security issue so that I can able to place items wherever I want. Suppose, for example, because of the pandemic, okay, I lost my job. Okay, because of the pandemic, I lost my job. I'm facing some difficulty to pay the rent over here. So I have requested one of my friend to join my flat so that we can share the rent and we can share the resources. So tomorrow onwards, my friend is joining my flat here. So from tomorrow onwards, we both are sharing that flat and the resources and the rent, everything. Now tell me what about my credit cards, debit cards, everything? Can you place wherever I want? No. I have to make it protected. I need to make it safe. Whatever the valuable items that I have, I need to make it protected from that other people here. Even though he may be your friend, also family member, relative, anybody, we need to make it protected here. Okay, as a owner, it's our responsibility. That means what? If you are the only person, there is no security issue. Whenever if one more person is joining your organization, security will come into the picture. Okay, this is the functionality here. Now here also, as part of my organization here, if Salesforce is maintaining a separate object for every organization, there is no concept of security in Salesforce. But if Salesforce is maintaining separate object, then number of objects will be keep on increasing. It is going to be putting some more load on the database. It is a huge investment process for the Salesforce people. That's what they're maintaining only one set of objects over here. So at that time, all the people are using that same object. So at that time, security will come into the picture. That's what here, along with the data, Salesforce is storing organization ID to differentiate the records from organization to organization. Clear? Now, let's see. Now come to the scenario. To differentiate the records from organization to organization, they're using a field called as organization ID. Fine. Now tell me, within an organization, can we have multiple users? Yes. Now, for example, so this is the organization one. This is belongs to whom? TCS. Now, TCS in the sense a person? No, it's an organization. Okay, it's an organization. Now, whatever the account that we have, whatever the Salesforce CRM account that we have, who will use this account? TCS employees. Okay, TCS employees. In TCS organization, there are two employees are available. One is Ramesh, second one Kiran. These two people are going to be accessing this application over here. So these are the two users are available for this organization. These are the two users. These two users, user may be a person. He may be an employee, he may be a customer, he may be a partner, he may be end user, he may be anybody else. So those are called as simply users. Instead of using a separate word, I'm calling simply a generic word user. Okay, the user can be either an employee or a customer or a partner or an end user, anybody also here. Now there are two employees are available over here, Ramesh and the Kiran. These two people are going to be accessing this Salesforce CRM application, which they have created by the TCS company here. Now Ramesh is also accessing this Salesforce CRM application. He is creating some records, and the Kiran is also accessing the same CRM application. He is creating some records. Both are belongs to the same organization. So now we are having two users are available. Ramesh has created some records. Kiran has created some records. Now, for example, here, the first record is created by Ramesh. Second record is created by Kiran. Okay, both the records are available within my same object here. Now my requirement is whatever the record created by Ramesh, those records should not be visible to the Kiran. Whatever the records created by Kiran, those should not be visible to Ramesh. I want to restrict the records. I want to restrict the records visibility from user to user within the organization. Within the organization, we have multiple users are available. How can we restrict the visibility of the record from user to user within the organization? In this case, what Salesforce will do is, whenever we are going to be adding the user, each user will be having a user ID. Now tell me, user object ID is what? User object ID 00 00, you know, 500 is case. Don't refer the notes, madam. Don't refer the notes.
005.
00005. Okay. User object ID is 005. So now here in this case, what Salesforce will do is, along with the record data, along with the organization ID, it will capture the user ID also. So that inside this object, along with the organization ID, it is maintaining a record also, a field also, that is user ID. It will maintain a field called as user ID also. So these are the two standard fields, but these two are hidden fields which cannot be visible to you inside your Salesforce arc. These fields are going to be maintaining the Salesforce for the internal system reference. Now, as soon as when the Ramesh is creating a new record, it will collect the record data. Along with the data, it is collecting the organization ID, user ID also. So it will store the record data over here. Along with the data, organization ID, user ID also has been created. Now, when Kiran is creating a new record, along with the record data, it will collect the organization ID, user ID also both. It will be storing user ID also. When the user click on this accounts tab to see the account record, it will collect the organization ID and the current user ID. Who is the currently logged in user? It is indicating this here. Now the training batch user. This user will be having the user ID. It will collect the user ID. Based on the user ID, based on the organization ID, it will collect the matching record. Those records will be visible to the people inside that user interface. Okay, so Salesforce is not providing a dedicated server to each and every customer. They are providing the shared infrastructure. So at that time here, whenever they are going to be storing the data of the customers, they are not maintaining a separate set of objects. Salesforce maintains only one set of objects over here, which are sharing across to the multiple customers. All the organizations, all the customers, all the users across all the regions, they're using the same objects over here. Upon creating the record, along with the record data, it will store the record details and the organization ID and the user ID also. Okay, understood the concept now? This is how Salesforce is maintaining the security of your records. Now, all of you having your own Salesforce accounts. You are creating so many account records. I have also created my Salesforce account records. All our records will be storing in the same object itself. But upon accessing the records, based on my organization ID, my user ID will collect only those records which I have created. So my records cannot be visible to you, your records cannot be visible to the other people as well. So this is how Salesforce is maintaining the security of the records between the users within the organizations as well. Okay, clear now? So now here in this case, we can raise a question. So up to this is fine. So we are having these two fields are available additionally inside my account object. Okay, fine. Suppose, for example, assume that I'm creating a custom object. As part of this TCS, they're creating a custom object over here. Whenever we are creating a custom object, okay, with the name, for example, we are creating a custom object with the name position __ C. So this is a custom object which we have created. Now tell me, what about this custom object? Is this custom object is visible to whom? To all the organizations or only to my organization?
Only to my organization.
Account object is accessible to all the organization. Contact is accessible to all the organization. Now I have created a new custom object with the name position underscore underscore C. This object will be accessible to whom? Hmm. To all the organization or only to that specific organization who created that object here? To that specific object.
Specific
Now,
organization.
whenever I'm creating an object inside my organization, this object can be accessible only by my organization users only, not the other users. That means what? Standard objects are common to all the users across all the region servers, but the custom objects are specific to the organization over here. If I'm creating the object inside my R, that will be accessible only to me. You can't access that. If you are creating a separate object in your organization, that object cannot be visible to me here. That means what? Custom objects are specific to that organization. Standard objects are common to all. Clear? Now. So now here in this case, let's see. For example, come to the scenario. Assume that. Assume that we are having this object over here. I have this organization. In my organization, I'm having this account object. Account object is standard or custom? Account object is what? Standard object or custom object? Standard
Standard
object.
object.
This will be common to, it is common to all the users or not? Yes. Now,
Yes.
in my account object, today I'm creating one additional field with the name PAN number. It's a custom field which I have created now in my account object. Now tell me, this PAN number field will be visible to whom?
Only to the my organization.
To all the organization or only to my organization? Only to my organization. That means what? Custom objects, custom fields are specific to that organization. Standard objects, standard fields are common to all the organization. So whenever I'm creating a custom object, that custom object will be visible only to me and my organization users. Other people can't access over here. Okay? Clear? Understood the concept now? Now. So this is how Salesforce is going to be maintaining the security of each and every feature available inside your organization. So standard objects can be accessible by all the users across all the region servers. Custom objects are specific to that organization only. Custom fields are also specific to the organization. Okay, clear? Now. So now till now, we have created our own objects, also custom objects. We have created some features also. We have stored some data as well. Now, how can we add a user to my organization? How can we add a user to my organization here? As of now, I am the administrator of my Salesforce organization. Assume that I have started a new supermarket over here. Now, it's a recently started supermarket here. Almost 1 week back, I have started. It's a very small supermarket. I'm the only person is running that. No employees are available as of now. I'm the only person. As of now, very less number of customers are visiting the supermarket every day. So I'm able to manage all these customers also by my own. Now slowly, my customers count is keep on increasing. So every day, some new customers are also visiting the supermarket because I'm offering some discounts also. I'm offering very quality products to my customers. So because of this, okay, because of the good publicity, so many other people are also visiting the supermarket. So if the number of customers count is keep on increasing, then as an individual person, I can't run the business here. I can't manage the whole business activity. I need some supporting people also. So I'm recruiting 2 people over here. One person can take care of sales, another person can take care of service. Okay, I can take care of administrator and the management, everything I will take care of that. So 2 people are recruiting, both are my employees. From now onwards, along with me, those 2 people also should be able to access my Salesforce application. How can we add those people, okay, as employees? How those people can access my Salesforce org? If you want to make those people can access your Salesforce organization, applications, data, features, and everything, we have to add them as a user. we have to add them as users. So now only the users can able to access your organization. That user may be your employee also, your salesperson also, service person, customer, partner, anybody, whatever. I'm not bothered about that. So only the authorized people, only the authorized users can log in into your Salesforce org with their credentials, and they can able to manage the data over here. Now, how can we add a new user to my organization? Whenever if you want to add a new user to your Salesforce org, we need a license. Okay, we require a license. Without the license, we can't add the user to your Salesforce org. Okay, without the license, we can't add a user to the Salesforce org. Then what exactly a license over here? Now, what exactly a license and what type of licenses are available in Salesforce? Okay, we'll see one by one. Okay, clear up to this one? Now, whenever if you want to add any user to your Salesforce organization, we require a license mandatorily. Without the license, we can't add the user to your Salesforce org. Then what exactly a license, what it indicates over here? Now, let me explain. Now, simple concept over here. Let me explain a small general scenario so that you can understand very easily what exactly the licensing concept here. For example, assume that we have a small family. Okay, for example, assume that we have a small family. We have a small family. In this family, there are 4 family members are available here. A father and the mother and the son and a daughter. These are the 4 people are available. So now these are the 4 members are available, and they have a small car also. They have a small car. Now they're having a car also. So now they have a small car over there. Now sometimes a father is using the car, sometimes a mother is using the car, sometimes a daughter is using the car, sometimes son is using the car. All the 4 people know how to drive this vehicle. All the people know how to drive this car. So depends upon their need, they are going to be using this vehicle here. Car is only one, but the family members are 4. Now tell me how many driving licenses are required. One is not sufficient? No. Why? Individually, they are using that here. Right. That means what here? Each and every person should have a separate driving license. Even though the car is only one, but the persons are many, it depends upon the usage here, they are using the car. So the person should have his own driving license. Then what the driving license indicates? Driving license is indicating that he is the authorized person, he is the right person to drive this vehicle on the road. Okay. Now this driving license is giving the permission to you to drive this vehicle on the road. If you don't have the driving license, okay, then you are not having the permission to drive the vehicle on the roads. Okay. Now, so now here in this case, now tell me, do we have any different types of driving licenses? Yes, we have so many types of licenses. Like for example, we have 2-wheeler licenses are available, 4-wheeler licenses are available, international driving licenses are also available over here. Okay, now if you're having this 2-wheeler license, you can drive only 2-wheeler vehicles. Okay, not the 4-wheeler. If you're having this 4-wheeler license, then we can drive 2-wheeler vehicles also, 4-wheeler vehicles also, both we can able to drive. And that too, these will be valid only for in our current country, that is India. If you are having this international driving license, we can drive any vehicle in any country also over here. So as part of this driving licenses, we are having various types of licenses are available. Each license is giving some different permissions. Like the similar way, as part of my Salesforce org, organization is only one, users are many. Whenever if you want to add a user to the organization, if any of the user wants to log in into my Salesforce account, that user should have a license. What that license indicates, that license is granting the permission that this user is the authorized person to log in into this Salesforce account. He can access the application, he can access the data and the features. If you're not having the license, he can't log in into the Salesforce account, he can't access your data and the features and the documents, everything. So that when coming to the license indicates a group of features which can be accessible by the user. License describes a group of features which can be accessible by the user inside your organization. Now, as part of these licenses, we are having, okay, as part of these licenses, we have so many types of licenses available in Salesforce. We have so many types of licenses are available. Whenever a user wants to log in into your Salesforce org, each user should have a separate license. Each user should have a separate license. If you are having 10 users, we need 10 licenses. If you have 2 users, 2 licenses, 100 users, 100 licenses, 1000 users, 1000 licenses. Okay, so each user will be having his own credentials, his own username, his own password. But all the people are connecting to same Salesforce account, no different over here. Okay, all the people are logging into same Salesforce account, but the users are different over here. The users are different, so based on the user, they will have their own licenses. Okay, understood the concept now? Now, as part of this Salesforce licenses, we are having various types of licenses are available. Like we have Salesforce license, platform license, charter free license, customer community licenses. Like that, we are having various types of licenses are available. As part of Salesforce, we are having various types of licenses. Salesforce license, platform license, charter free license, customer community license. Like that, we are having various types of licenses are available. Each license is granting the permissions on the different set of features. Then what exactly Salesforce license, what exactly platform license, charter free license, community license, we'll see one by one. Okay, now make a note of this one here. Now, licenses. License. License describes a group of features can be accessible by the user within the organization. License describes a group of features can be accessible by the user within the organization. While adding a new user to the organization, each user should be, each user should have a separate license. Each user should have a separate license. Each user should have a separate license. Salesforce provides various types of licenses. First one, Salesforce license. Second one, platform license. Third one, charter free license. Fourth one, customer community login license. Etc. So many types of licenses are available as part of your Salesforce R. Now, so what exactly this each and every license type indicates? Now let me explain one by one. Done with this? Now, first one, Salesforce license. So what exactly the Salesforce license indicates over here? Salesforce license is also called as standard license, is also called as full license. Okay, it is also called as standard license or full license. What it indicates, Salesforce license will be granting the full permission to you to access every feature available inside your organization. That means it's like as international driving license. You can able to access, you can able to drive any vehicle in any country also. Like the similar way here also, Salesforce license is granting the permissions on all the features. So now we can access all the applications, all the objects also, all the fields, all the records, all the features, including standard custom. That means by using this Salesforce license, we can access all the applications, standard applications, custom applications, standard objects, custom objects, standard fields, custom fields, standard features, custom features, everything we can access with the help of Salesforce license. So that's what this is called as full license. This is also called as standard license in Salesforce. Okay, it will grant the full permission to that user so that he can access all the functionalities available inside your organization. Okay, no restrictions at all. Now, let's see. Salesforce license. It grants the permission on all standard and custom applications, objects, fields, and functionalities available inside the organization. It grants the permission on all standard and custom applications, objects, fields, and the functionalities available inside the organization. It is also called as standard license or full license. That is, it grants full permissions to the users. Done?
Yes, sir.
Now, second one, platform license. What do you mean by this platform generally? Platform is for what? Platform is for what? Hmm. Hmm. Now, platform is used to what? To build some custom functionalities, to build some custom applications, to build some custom features, to build some custom business logics and the custom user interfaces. Now, the platform license is purely focusing on platform features. Platform features means custom functionalities. They purely grant the permissions on custom applications, custom objects, custom fields, custom features, custom functionalities here. Along with it will grant the access on 5 standard objects in Salesforce. like account, contact, document, task, and the event. No other objects over here. No other objects. No campaign, no lead, no opportunity, no case, no solution order, nothing. Because it is purely focusing on custom functionalities. So platform license will be purely granting the permissions on custom applications, custom objects, custom fields, custom features, along with 5 standard objects. Only 5 standard objects here. Account, contact, document, task, and the event. No other objects here. So platform license will not be granting the permissions on your campaign, your lead, your opportunity, your case, your solution. It won't grant the permissions at all. Okay, because it's purely restricted permissions over here. Okay, it is purely granting the permissions on platform functionalities. Now, let's see. This license will grant the permissions on all custom applications, objects, fields, functionalities, along with few 5 standard objects. 5 standard objects like account, contact, document, task, and event. That is, it is purely granting the permissions and platform features. It won't allow us to access the other standard apps and objects. You can't access any standard objects. No standard objects, no standard applications, features, nothing. You can't access sales application, service, and the marketing, and then sales console, service console, nothing. It won't allow you to access these standard applications, standard objects, standard features, only platform, only custom, no standard at all. Done? Next. Charter free license. Basically, this license is purely granting the permissions on charter feed. It won't grant the access on any applications, no applications access, no objects access, no functionalities, no fields, no records, nothing. Only charter feed. Like as your Facebook. We are posting some information, other people are giving some reply, other people can comment on that, other people can able to like that, other people can follow you like that. These are the various of features are available. So, like the similar way as part of Salesforce, the same feature is available that is called as a charter. So, in order to grant the functionalities or access are only on charter features to the users, we are using charter free license. Charter free license is purely granting access on charter fee. It won't allow you to access any applications and the objects and the functionalities, features, nothing. Okay, only charter feature access. Now, right? It's like as a social media. Because basically it's not communicating with other people, because social media platforms are used to communicate with external people. But now this is only for within the organization users. With your sales team, with your service team, with your marketing, we can communicate with the help of chatter feature, not to the external people. Now, this license will grant the permissions on only chatter feed. Chatter feed. It won't grant the access on any of the applications, objects. Done? Next, customer community login license. Basically, these community licenses are used to grant the permissions on your community portals. As part of Salesforce, we can build your own community portals also, like customer portal, partner portal also. Your custom communities also we can build, like a charging community or medical caretaker communities also, financial communities, anything we can able to build. So whatever the communities that we have inside your Salesforce are, on those communities, if you want to grant the permissions, then we can use customer community login license. But they can't access any applications, objects, and the features, nothing. Only the community features they can able to access. That's it. Okay. Now, let's see. This license is used to grant the permissions. This license is used to grant the permissions on community portals. Community portals. Like for example, customer community, partner community, and then custom communities also, etc. So we can grant the permissions on the community portals with the help of this customer community login license. Like that, we have various types of licenses available in Salesforce. Now, so in this case, we require these licenses in order to grant the permissions to the users on our features. Now, whatever the licenses information that we have, all the licenses information will store inside an object called as user license object. So user license is a standard object in Salesforce in which all the licenses information will get resides. Okay, all the licenses information will store inside that user license object. Now, in this case here, we can raise a question. Sir, in order to add the users, we require license mandatorily as part of Salesforce. But right now, I'm using free developer account. It's a free account which I'm accessing right now. Now tell me, in order to add one more user, do I need to purchase a license by contacting Salesforce? No. We no need to buy the licenses. Salesforce has given few free licenses in our free developer edition also. As part of free developer edition, Salesforce has given few free licenses also. How many? What type of licenses Salesforce has given here? Now, as part of Salesforce licenses, they have given two licenses. Okay, Salesforce has provided two free licenses over here. Okay, which is of type Salesforce. Platform licenses, they have given 3 platform licenses as free. Charter free licenses, they have given 5,000 charter free licenses as free in our free developer edition. Customer community login licenses, 5. They have given 5 customer community login licenses as free. So these are the various types of licenses, and these are the various number of licenses Salesforce has given as free. So all this licenses information will store inside your user license object here. Now, then how can we see what licenses are available inside my Salesforce are? How many licenses Salesforce has given to me? How many licenses that I have used? And when the license is going to be getting expired, everything we can able to verify, where we can verify. For that one, we have an option called as company information. By using the company information link, we can verify how many licenses are available inside my org, what type of licenses, how many Salesforce has given, how many we are utilizing as of now, how many remains, when the license will expire, everything we can check it out with the help of company information. By using company information, we can verify all those details as well. Then how can we check all those details? Okay, we'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about how to verify the licenses information, how many licenses are available, how to utilize those licenses. We'll see in tomorrow's session here. Okay, now tomorrow we'll see the practical concept of licenses, and then we are going to discuss about a concept called as profiles. Okay, profiles, and then we are going to be discussing about how can we add the users to your Salesforce org. Okay, how can we add the users to our Salesforce org? We'll see that concept also practically in tomorrow's session. Don't miss that tomorrow's part over here. That is very, very important over here. Then how can we create our own custom profile? How to assign the profiles to the users? How can we add the user to the Salesforce org? We'll see in tomorrow's session practically here. Okay. Now, thank you.